So, hey guys, good afternoon to everyone. Just confirm me once in the chat box. My voice is audible and this PDF file, this PPT file is visible to you. Just confirm me once in the chat box so that we can start our discussion on this extremely important subject, extremely important topic, that is techniques to boost your GST practices. Yes, sir. There is chat box is available on the YouTube platform. You can put your comment on the chat box. So once confirm me that my voice is audible. Okay, sir. Thank you. So today we'll discuss on a very important subject, on a very important topic, and this is the question in everyone's mind, that how we can boost our GST practices. Okay. So in our today's topic, in our today's session, in our today's webinar, we'll cover the complete crux in a very summarized form. Okay, I am not going to take your much more time because I know very well today is Sunday and we all have a limited amount of time for this Sunday. So I will conclude this session in next 30 minutes. Okay, so I just want your support for next 30 minutes. You just need to be here for next 30 minutes. Also, there is no requirement to open any notebook, any pen. There is no requirement of any notes, anything, nothing is required. Okay, you just need to be focused on the content which I am going to delivering in this particular webinar. I am going to talk on certain very specific, very important topics. और हो सकता है I will share with you certain things जो आपको लगे यार ये बहुत कड़वा बोल रहा है, ये सही नहीं बोल रहा है, but I am sharing these things as well for your practices. Okay, because the point is that I am taking the sessions on GST law. I am taking the sessions to teach the professionals about the GST mechanism, about the GST provisions, about various new changes in GST, all those things. But the point is that the knowledge will be useful only in case when my client will, or when my participants will get certain new clients, when my participant will retain the clients. Because nowadays in current scenario, the biggest problem is that to retain the clients or to gain the new clients or to attract the new clients, because in market there is a very huge competition. Okay, just sharing one example, that if you will ask someone that you want to start your practices, in that case that person will say that yes, I will start my practices in the field of GST, in the field of indirect taxation. Okay, 90% of the response is that I want to initiate my practices in indirect taxation. और जो बंदे indirect taxation में practices कर रहे हैं, the persons who are dealing in the indirect taxation, they are saying that client is not retaining. Also there is a lot of issues with the client. Also we are not able to get new clients. Okay, so there are two ways problem. One, everyone wants to work with the indirect taxation. Very less people wants to initiate their practices under direct taxation. Or as we all know, there is a very huge scope in indirect taxation, but the point is that we are focusing on only one single thing, that is return filing, compliances handling. रिटर्न फाइलिंग, compliances handling. कभी हमने जीएसटी को उससे ऊपर बढ़ के देखा ही नहीं. This is the problem and this is the truth, that we have only focused on the return filing, on the compliance handling. So 10th of next month I want to file my GSTR 1 return. 20th aa gayi hai, I want to file the GSTR 3B return. There is requirement to file the return for composition dealer. I also need to file the annual return, the 9 scene reconciliation statement. I also need to reconcile the GSTR 2B. So a lot of burden is there, and at the end when we are providing the fees bills to our client will say, sir, any discount is possible? Sir, your fees is too high. The other person is filing the return at the rate of this and this, but you are charging this and this. Or there may be chances that we left that particular client. Sir, am I right or wrong? You just need to comment in the chat box as well. This session is just an interactive session. We are a family members and we are just going to talk on a very critical issue. मैं जीएसटी सीख लूंगा, मैं प्रोविजन सीख लूंगा, मैं लॉ सीख लूंगा, बट द पॉइंट इज दैट आई नीड टू हैव द टेक्निक that how I can attract the client or how I can retain the client. So the session will be very interesting. The session will be very interactive if you will put certain comments in the chat box. And those who are watching this video recorded, I am also requesting to that whatever will be your views, just put the same in the chat box, because comment box is there for always. Okay, so the point is that there is a very huge scope in the indirect taxation, but the point is that we are just focusing on a single point, on a very one point, that is return filing, compliances, handling, nothing more than that. This is the biggest issue. So in our today's webinar, we'll discuss certain techniques to you. We'll discuss certain important things to you so that you can boost your GST practices very easily. ओके ये कोई वो सेशन नहीं है सर कि यू कैन अर्न दिस अमाउंट, यू कैन अर्न दिस अमाउंट, नथिंग लाइक दैट. दिस इज जस्ट अ सेशन दैट हाउ you can establish yourself. Or at the end, one more important thing which I just want to share: when I am doing the GST practices, when I am handling the GST cases, or when I am doing whatever will be the work, there is just one wish in my mind. Okay, for myself I am talking. Okay, that is, I need to recognize myself. सेम आपके लिए भी होगा कि यार अगर मैं जीएसटी का काम कर रहा हूं, इफ आई एम हैंडलिंग द जीएसटी रिलेटेड वर्क्स, इफ आई एम हैंडलिंग द रिटर्न फाइलिंग, इफ आई एम हैंडलिंग द वर्क ऑफ इनडायरेक्ट टैक्सेशन, देन आई आई शुड बी रिकॉग्नाइज्ड. मेरी मार्केट के अंदर एक रेपुटेशन होनी चाहिए. ओके, सो द पॉइंट इज दैट व्हेन वी आर डूइंग अ पर्टिकुलर वर्क, द रिक्वायरमेंट इज दैट यू शुड बी रिकॉग्नाइज्ड. वरना यार हर कोई आता है चला जाता है, अगर मैंने अपने आप को रिकॉग्नाइज नहीं किया, मेरे काम से मैंने मेरी पहचान नहीं बनाई, इन दैट केस nothing will be there. Okay, so we just need to think from that, and from that perspective we are conducting every Sunday one webinar on a specific topic. Okay, that's are completely free, and that's on something specific topic, not related to the law, or not related to the provisions. Okay, and just मैं मेरी बात करूं, I am only dealing in indirect taxation, only dealing in GST. Okay, nothing else. So working areas under GST. GST registration is also a working area. GST return filing, GSTR1, GSTR3B, GSTR9, 9C. GST annual closing, you can say GSTR9 and 9C. GST litigation handling. As we all know, there are a lot of notices are issued by the departmental authority. You can say the scrutiny related notices, the audit related notices, the notices on account of non-filing of returns, the notices on account of unregistered persons, summary assessment, special audit, business audit. So we can handle that particular type of thing. GST refund filing. So these are the probable area which we all know. हम सबको पता है GST registration, GST return filing, annual closing, litigation handling, and GST refund. Now, just think on one point. Return filing is a very easy process, as we all know. Now also government has implemented the IMS invoice management system as well. So client can easily tick the invoices, the same will be auto-populated in 2B and the same will be auto-populated in 3B, and return can be filed very easily. So why there is requirement of a GST professional? GST registration is also a very simplified process. Just need to put the documents, just need to feed the details. If the accountant is with good mind, then that person can easily file the same. In 9 and 9C, maximum things are auto-populated. So you just need to reconcile the figures from the GSTR3B, GSTR1 and file the returns. Now point is that GST litigation handling. This is a good area for which we need to be focused. If there will be any notice, then the reply will be based on my drafting techniques. For drafting a particular reply, I am charging 10,000 rupees, just for an example. Okay, my Padosi is filing the same for 1,000 rupees. So here is a bifurcation, because my drafting technique is my ability and his drafting technique is his ability. So this is different from people to people. But for return filing, client kahega, why I need to pay 10,000, 20,000 rupees per month or per year when the accountant is filed the same for 5,000 rupees? Then why there is requirement of Mr. Sachin? Because my sales data is same. ऐसा नहीं है कि मेरी सेल्स 10 लाख है, आप 20 लाख फीड करोगे. Sales data is same, purchase data is same, accounting softwares are efficient. Then why there is requirement of you? This is the question. So there are two other work on which we need to focus to boost our practices. One is GST implementation. शायद हम में से 70% लोगों ने कभी सोचा भी नहीं होगा. This is also an area of work, that is GST implementation, and this is a very wide area of work under GST. This is a very huge scope oriented area under GST, that is GST implementation. If you want to recognize yourself, if you want to earn a good amount, if you want to establish your GST practices, in that case, you need to be focused on this aspect that is called as GST implementation. Now, sir, what do you mean by this GST implementation? Because in our today's webinar, I am just going to share with you certain questions. I am just going to open certain questions in front of you, and this is completely your decision how you are going to initiate the work on that particular question. So, what do you mean by the GST implementation? When a particular industry is going to be formed, or for a existing industry, return filing is to be done through the data generated from the accounting software. Now, the point is that whether the accounting software is generating the correct data or not, whether the correct place of supply, correct time of supply, correct value of supply, the correct GST implementation, the correct term supply has been defined in the accounting software or not. Because in maximum cases, accounting software are not efficient from that particular aspect. They can generate the data. You can say garbage in, garbage out. Whatever you are going to put in the accounting software, they will generate the output. But the point is that how you are going to put the data in that particular accounting software. What are the things we need to keep in our mind? When we need to book a purchase in the books of accounts, when we need to claim an input tax credit for a particular purchase, when I need to make the payment to my creditors, how I can make the simplified process that there will be no any reversal on account of non-payment to creditors within 180 days. If there will be a case of export, in that case, whether the export should be with payment or without payment, that type of consultancy I need to provide to my client. So that if I will charge 50,000 rupees from my client will ready to pay. Because that person has no idea that, sir, I need to make the export with payment or without payment. What are the ifs and but? What are the positive point? What are the negative point? कई बार लगता है क्लाइंट को कि विदाउट पेमेंट कर दूंगा तो आई विल क्लेम द रिफंड ऑफ accumulated ITC and there is no requirement to pay any output tax. But in multiple scenarios, export with payment of tax is also very profitable. So we just need to provide that type of consultancy to our client. In 30 to 40% scenarios, accounting softwares are defining the place of supply wrongly. We are putting the data, we are filing the return based on the data generated from the client software. Whenever there will be a business audit, departmental audit, we will not be in a situation to provide the reply because we have not worked on the implementation of GST. How the RCM related entries is going on. For that purpose, first we need to get the idea about the nature of the industry of our client. And based on that, we can provide the consultancy related to implementation. Whenever our client will come with a new type of transaction, we need to complete scrutinize that transaction. Based on that, we need to define the things. Now, the biggest question in front of you is that, sir, our client is not ready to pay us the amount for that. Sir, provide something additional to your client will definitely provide you the additional amount. This is the theory. Okay, just try to add on something. Whenever you will prepare the income tax audit, just for an example, I am sharing this thing, that whenever you will prepare the income tax audit, just prepare the complete reconciliation from GST perspective and provide the same to your client. This is an additional service from our side. These are the points which is related to GST. This is an additional service. अगर वो क्लाइंट जीएसटी का काम कहीं और से करवा रहा होगा, वो सोचेगा यार मेरे चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट ने जो मेरी इनकम टैक्स की ऑडिट हैंडल कर रहा है, दैट पर्सन हैज मेड द एफर्ट्स, so why I need not to transfer that work to this chartered accountant? These are the things we need to do. Also, now we all know that this time is technology driven. This time is not in a hard working time. So we just need to develop certain technical tools. जैसा कि इनपुट रिकंसिलेशन का मैंने कोई कस्टमाइज टूल तैयार करवा लिया. आई हैव प्रिपेयर्ड वन कस्टमाइज टूल फॉर इनपुट रिकंसिलेशन. आई जस्ट नीड टू प्रोवाइड दैट टूल टू माय क्लाइंट so that this will be an add-on service for my client. There are a lot of technical tools are there. You can provide one tool to check the data related to the place of supply, related to the value of supply in Excel, so that your client will be very happy. And this is an additional tool from your side to your client. For that purpose, yes, you need to take the service of an technical person. But the point is that suppose you have existing 50 clients and you will provide that technical tool to your clients, your client will say to others that my chartered accountant has provided this type of tool to me. So other person will come to you that, sir, you are providing certain extreme level of services. Because कितना ही एडवर्टीजमेंट कर लो, कितना ही फेसबुक पे चले जाओ, इंस्टाग्राम पे चले जाओ, जो काम माउथ पब्लिसिटी कर सकता है वो कोई नहीं कर सकता है. नो वन कैन डू दैट पर्टिकुलर वर्क. I have started the GST teaching the GST classes since last 3 years. I have not run a single Facebook or Instagram ad from Bato consultancy from CA Sachin Jain. Because if someone going to join my session, that person can check the content and directly that person can say to others, wo zyada mouth publicity mere liye kaam karega. The same thing will be applicable in your scenario. So this is also our second technique to boost your practices. Not focus merely on GST return filing, GST registration, GST annual closing. अगर पॉसिबल है आपके कोई स्टाफ को ये सारा का सारा काम असाइन करो, यू शुड फोकस ऑन द GST litigation handling, on the GST implementation, on the GST technical tool development, ताकि your client will be there. Okay. Now, point is that I want to work on GST implementation. I want to work on GST technical tool. I want to work on GST litigation handling. Now the question is that what are the things which is required? मुझे क्या चीज चाहिए जिसके थ्रू मैं ये सारा का सारा काम कर सकता हूं? बिकॉज रिटर्न फाइलिंग में क्या है, आई एम नॉट गेटिंग दैट पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम. हो सकता है मेरा जो स्टेटमेंट है वो कॉन्ट्राडिक्टरी हो, बट द पॉइंट इज दैट वन स्पेसिफिक फील्ड्स आर देयर, यू नीड टू पुट द डेटा, but how you are going to extract the data, that is what is the question, and that is what is the main thing. So for implementation, for technical tool development, there is requirement of GST law. Okay, there is requirement of practical aspects, there is requirement that you should be updated. If there will be a single change in GST law, there is requirement that you should have the idea of that change. When I have started my practices in GST in 2017, okay, at that time my principal, जो मेरे principal थे, उन्होंने मुझे केवल एक लाइन बोली, सचिन, if you want to start your practice in this particular field, then just keep one thing in your mind, that each and every provision of GST law should be on your tips. Each and every section is to be on your tips. Only and only after that you will be in a situation to establish your practices, to recognize yourself. So the first thing, because जब मैं इंप्लीमेंटेशन की बात करता हूं, जब मैं बात करता हूं मैं कोई टूल डेवलप करूंगा, जब मैं बात करता हूं मुझे ड्राफ्टिंग करनी है, या फिर आई वांट टू हैंडल द लिटिगेशंस. सो व्हेन आई एम टॉकिंग फ्रॉम लिटिगेशन पर्सपेक्टिव, एट दैट टाइम आपको एक बात पता होनी चाहिए, आई नीड टू डील with a GST commissioner, with an additional commissioner, with a superintendent, and that person have also idea of GST law. And when I need to argue with that particular person, in that case there is requirement that I have extreme level of knowledge of GST. सो मैं उसके सामने मुझे झुकना नहीं पड़ेगा, या फिर उसके आर्ग्यूमेंट का मैं क्रॉस रिप्लाई दे पाऊंगा. वरना रिटर्न फाइलिंग के लिए, कंप्लायंस हैंडलिंग के लिए, रजिस्ट्रेशन के लिए कोई कानून पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं है. देयर इज नो रिक्वायरमेंट टू रीड एनी लॉ, because the software is going to generate the data. You just need to file the return and you can earn very easily 5 to 7 lakh rupees. But what about your recognition? What about your values? What about your dream? That is what is the thing. So for that purpose, there is requirement that you have the idea about GST law, so that you can work on litigation, you can work on GST implementation, that these are the things on which I need to be focused. For any development of tool will developed by the technical person, but there is requirement you need to instruct that what the thing you require. So for that purpose there is requirement of GST law. Merely the knowledge of law, मुझे पता है this is my section 7, this is my 8, this is my 15, this is my 17, 18, 19, 20. But if I have no idea of the practical implication of that particular section, in that case my knowledge of regarding the law is waste, is totally waste. Because I am not going to pass any examination, or there is no requirement to pass any examination for me. The point is that I need to practically apply the same in my day-to-day practices, and for that purpose I need to have the complete practical idea of the law. So whenever you will learn the law, you just need to learn the complete practical aspect of the law. और एक सेक्शन मैंने 2017 में पढ़ी, now there is a lot of changes in that particular section, so you should be completely updated so that you can guide your client. So these are the three things which is required. एंड फॉर दैट पर्पस आई एम ऑलवेज सेइंग, ये जो आज हमने टॉपिक लिया है ना, बूस्ट योर जीएसटी प्रैक्टिसेस, फॉर दैट पर्पस आई एम कंडक्टिंग अ 6 hours seminar, okay, physically. In that particular 6 hours will purely talk that how you can boost your practices, but this is physically only. Webinar पे मेरे लिए इतना possible नहीं है that I can take a session for 6 hours, but I am just going to try that all the crux I just need to include in 30 minutes. So I am using one line that you just need to decide one budget for a year, that is for investment related to your knowledge. You may invest 10,000 rupees, 15,000 rupees, 20,000 rupees, 50,000 rupees, whatever will be your budget. You may decide a budget of 1,000 rupees, that this is my budget and I want to invest it, not expense. This is your biggest investment. I am going to invest it for my knowledge. And from that amount, you can buy the books, you can buy the courses, you can take the videos, you can take the lectures, you can take the physical seminars, you can take the digital seminars, webinars. I am not saying that you should take the webinar or the seminar or the books authored by CA Sachin Jain. No, there is no requirement. There are a lot of authors are there. There are a lot of good speakers are there. Take the sessions from them, take the classes from them. This will be very much helpful, and this is your knowledge investment, because there may be chances आपके पास में एक बहुत लिमिटेड टाइम होगा, आपके पास में बहुत लिमिटेड टाइम होगा, उसमें सब कुछ पढ़ना पॉसिबल नहीं है. सो द पर्सन हु इज डीलिंग एक्सक्लूसिवली फॉर दैट पर्पस, यू कैन यूज द नॉलेज ऑफ दैट पर्सन बाय पेइंग अ सिग्निफिकेंट अमाउंट. So from today itself, try to decide one budget for a year, that this is my investment for a particular year. It may be 5,000, it may be 500. Now, this is the very difficult question and ये कड़वा सच है. Just think what you are doing additional for your client. Your client is sending the data, you are filing the returns. Your client is sending the notices, you are meeting with the departmental authority. Your client is sending the annual data, you are filing the return. What you are doing additionally for your client? कभी आपने अपने क्लाइंट से बात की, yes sir, one question is that you are doing in this particular type of industry, can you please elaborate the complete nature of industry? These are the things you need to keep in your mind from GST perspective, from income tax perspective. These are the things you need to keep in your mind to grow your businesses. You have taken the loan from this particular bank, so you can bifurcate in secure term, unsecured loan. These are the assets which is available in your hand. This is the utilization ratio. So these type of questions, and this will not take much more time, because if you are doing the audit, if you are handling the monthly purchase and sales, then you have the complete idea of things. You just need to keep certain questions in your mind. You may ask why there is a very decrease in your purchase, why there is huge increase in the sales, why your expenditure is in an increasing mode with comparison to purchase. If you will ask these type of questions to your client will think that Mr. Sachin is doing something additional for me. This will create a bridge between you and your client, and this bridge will plays a very important role, because वहां पर फैमिली रिलेशनशिप होना स्टार्ट हो जाएंगे, और फिर आपकी स्टार्ट होगी माउथ पब्लिसिटी कि यार माय क्लाइंट इज टॉकिंग विथ मी ऑन मंथली बेसिस एंड गाइडिंग मी दीज टाइप ऑफ थिंग्स. So this will create a very huge impact on your client capturing. These are the things we need to learn, because as a commerce person, as a chartered accountant, as a cost management accountant, as a GST professional, we are very hardworking. But the point is that हमको show off करना नहीं आता. This is the biggest problem. So we need to be very much focused on that as well. Now, how to capture a new client and how to retain the existing client? This is also a very important question. Because क्लाइंट को कैप्चर करना इज अ वेरी डिफिकल्ट टास्क, क्लाइंट को रिटेन करने रखना इज अ मोस्ट डिफिकल्ट टास्क, बिकॉज देर इज अ वेरी ह्यूज कॉम्पिटिशन इन द मार्केट. एक भी नोटिस आया, अगर आप उसका रिप्लाई नहीं दे पाए, इन दैट केस योर क्लाइंट विल अपॉइंट अ न्यू चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट, योर क्लाइंट विल अपॉइंट अ न्यू जीएसटी प्रैक्टिशनर. So you should be very much focused on that. For capturing a new client, just try to take the help of social media as well. Just create certain blogs related to the news update, चाहे आपने किसी के देख करके ही डाले हो. Just try to create the blogs and provide the same to your client. If there will be any update, then just try to update your client from that particular information which is provided by the government. Just be there on social media so that you can capture the new client, provide the extreme services to your existing client, so that through the mouth publicity, because in this particular session we have 30 to 35 minutes, okay, so I am going to focus on only one aspect, that is called as mouth publicity. So your new client will be there. Check yourself, change yourself, else time will change you. This is the very real fact. आप अपने आप को चेंज कर दो, आप अपने टेक्नोलॉजी अडॉप्ट कर दो, या फिर समय आपको चेंज कर देगा. देयर विल बी नो एनी इश्यू विद दैट. सो यू नीड टू बी वेरी मच केयरफुल फ्रॉम दैट पर्सपेक्टिव. Update the knowledge of your client. So do something unique. So for that purpose, you can create the blogs, you can create the files, you can provide the same video lectures you can use. Make yourself expert in GST, gain the insightful knowledge. Each and every section should be on your tips. This is the most important thing. Thank you everyone for listening. If you have any question related to Boost Your Practices, you can connect on this particular email ID. Also, you can connect over the WhatsApp, and whatever will be your feedback, you may put in the chat box. Chat box is here. You may put your feedback in the chat box. I suppose this session is useful for you because I have just 30 minutes and I need to conclude the session. So I have covered the most crux of that particular thing, that how you can gain new client, how you can capture new client through this particular 30 minutes. So I just request everyone, whatever will be your feedback for your for the session, just put the same in the chat box. Sir, your feedbacks are very important for me, because through your feedback I will be motivated. And the second point is that if someone else is going to read the feedbacks, then this will be the mouth publicity. So just put your feedbacks in the chat box. Or there is one more request from your side, that just share this video with your other professional friends. Also, one more information from my side, that recently we have launched our subscription plan, and in that subscription plan, this is not an advertisement, this is just for your information. In our subscription plan, we have one important and specific thing. I just want to share with you. Just give me a single second. Yes, in this subscription plan, you will get the complete access to various case studies under GST, because as we all know, to fight the litigations, there is requirement that I have the complete idea about the various case laws. Okay, and we have received multiple requests that, sir, how we can know the complete case studies. This is quite difficult because each and every case study is around 40 to 50 pages, और उस limited time में हम उस case study को कैसे देख सकते हैं? So for that purpose, we have developed a specific tool, we have developed a specific facility on our website. This is our subscription plan. You just need to search the case study here. You will find out the case study. And when you will check that case study, you need to subscribe our annual subscription plan. And in that plan, you will get the exclusive access to all the case studies, which is provided by High Court, by the Supreme Court, by the AAR authority, RRR authority, related to each and every matter. And ये केवल ब्लॉग नहीं है, इसके साथ वी आर गोइंग टू प्रोवाइड द कंप्लीट वीडियो, एंड दिस वीडियो इज जस्ट इन 3 minutes. In 3 minutes we have completed the complete case study, and around 500 case studies are already uploaded on the website, और every day these are changing. That means अगर कोई भी नया केस स्टडी आया, वो वेबसाइट पे आ जाएगा. आप जैसे ही उस पर क्लिक करोगे, 3 मिनट में उसका वीडियो कंप्लीट हो जाएगा, and you will also get the complete blog in a very simplified way. and also you will get the complete business effect of that case study. Okay, now we have 25% off on that case study. This annual subscription price charges is 5,000 rupees. Now we have 25% off, so you will get it around 3,750 rupees. So I just think if you want to invest, you can start your investment from this subscription plan. This is for 1 year. You will get an exclusive access to all the case studies for next 1 year, all the notification, all the circulars under GST, all the GST law related simplified videos you will get in this subscription plan. So I suppose, and this is the India's first subscription plan in which you will get the video descriptions, because blog मेरे लिए हो सकता है पढ़ना easy नहीं हो, तो we have created the videos and all the videos are created by me only, so you can join that as well. So thank you everyone, thank you for your valuable feedbacks. We'll meet you soon in any other seminar, in any other webinar. And I also request, if you have any question, any query in future, you may connect with me. There will be no any issue with that. First connect over the, try to connect over the mail, then after we'll give you the right time to connect with me over call. So thank you everyone for connecting, thank you everyone for joining, for listening with us. We'll meet you soon in any other webinar. Thank you, bye bye.